What's up, everybody? Max Cavalera here, Soulfly. You listen to the FANTASM Podcast. Stay metal. Boy.
FANTASM.
The film, we have a super exciting film. Only way you can get this is in the limited edition box set that has long since sold out. This is a really cool one. This is good for the younger generation, which we don't really do. This is probably the earliest film we've done, or actually latest film we've done, age-wise. So, Doctor.
We are watching Jason X for all our young ones out there. And the Blu-ray of this already looks fantastic. And this movie's very gory.
We've done most of the Fridays by now. We'll queue up the trailer for you guys just here in a second.
It's
dropping the ball on this one. But,
it's exciting. It's exciting to do this. I think this is going to be fun.
Here we go.
It's a fun film.
Coming at you.
Coming soon.
He is an unstoppable killing machine.
What the hell is going on?
Jason Voorhees!
Guys, it's okay. He just wanted his machete back. Uh-oh.
He's been modified. Oh, you think? You guys might want to run.
Jason X.
I don't think he's out there.
Why don't you stick your head out and have a peek?
Rated R. Coming soon. Coming soon.
He is an unstoppable
Coming soon. He's coming really hard. Corey is coming really hard.
Sorry. All right. Yeah, forgot about the drowning pool. That's pretty funny. That shows you how, it shows you how not old this movie is. It makes me feel old, though.
And looking at the I've got some specs up pulled on it here. What's exciting for me is Harry Manfredini actually wrote "Let Them Bodies Hit That Flow." So, no, but honestly, the reason I picked this, and I will take the give the disclaimer on this, I picked this film because I thought this was more appropriate for Max and Soulfly and his endeavors in the early 2000s, and I thought it was, there's an anniversary of that, I guess, that first record. So there you go. It's a shout out to him, and it's as close as I could get it. So, and it's Kane Hodder raunchness. So.
Yeah, and I actually like, you see the old school Jason here. Of course, as I said, we're watching, the only way you can get it on Blu-ray, at least in America, is you had to get that El Primo little tin box set that they put out with all the films.
Every penny.
Also, this is a split disc with Jason Goes to Hell, also the only way you can get that on Blu-ray. So,
another great movie.
I think the only thing they left out of the box set, was it Freddy vs. Jason?
No, it's in there.
It's in there. It was the remake.
It's in there, too.
It is?
It's
So it's
all
everything.
in there. And the documentary.
See, I like his mask in this movie. I like a lot of things about this movie. Of course, it's overly like sleepaway camp cheesy, but it's it's still Jason killing people.
The Blu-ray looks good.
Yeah, it does. And this is the first time I've seen this on Blu-ray because I don't have the El Primo.
Dude, I bought this thing when it came out, and what was so
I got
funny?
that 8-film piece of shit, and that one is like you can get it for like $20 at Walmart, and it just has the first 8 films.
Right.
Leaves out the last 2, which I guess for hardcore fans that's fine, but I'm a hardcore fan. I want all of it, including the remake, which I loved, and Freddy vs. Jason. It's all there together. I want everything. I mean, I can still get it. You just have to spend about $200 so you can get the new.
Wheelchair fucker had never seen that picture. He'd never seen the 09, and we watched it actually last night, and that movie's fucking good.
And Sean S. Cunningham produced this. Now, if you see our boy right there, who is that?
Hold on, I can't.
The doctor.
Is that Cronenberg?
That's David Cronenberg.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Dr. Wimmer, I think his name is in the film.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so we got a beautiful cameo of David Cronenberg here in the beginning, talking to, was it Lexa Dogue? I don't remember her name. Yeah, I like the Uber Jason thing. It was cheesy, but I thought it was really cool.
Okay, we got an interesting thing here too. I want to talk to everybody here. We are not going to be doing music and movies from 2001. It says here it was released April 26, 2002 in America.
So was it filmed in 2000?
No, it was released in Spain and Europe in November of 2001.
It's weird.
So technically,
I'll tell you a funny story. I saw it opening weekend on my brother's birthday.
April. Is his birthday in April?
Yeah.
There you go.
Late April.
2000. There it is. That proves it. That concretes it right there.
I saw it opening weekend. I was 12 years old. This is 2002. And I was still living in upstate New York.
Right.
And I went with his friend Rodney. And my brother didn't want to go. He was, pissing and moaning. And he was like, I want to go see Jason X. I was like, I'll go see it with you. And he was like, all right, man, let's go. And my brother was like, I don't want to fucking see it. And he was like, all right, well, we're going to go see it. So he walked around with my mom in the mall for like 2 hours while me and his friend went and watched Jason X in theaters.
So we're going to be doing stuff from 2002 then.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. This is going to be interesting.
It really is. I mean, since it was released...
There goes Cronenberg. He gets
that was
the death spike. Yep, this is Kane Hodder raunchness right here. Just as it, right in the beginning, he's already killed like 3 fucking people.
Wait, this movie is set in the year 2010.
Yeah, well,
in 2010, Corey will survive. Anyway, this is pretty funny.
There is a correlation with Cronenberg.
445 years later, 2455, Earth has become too populated to support life, and humans have moved to a new planet, Earth 2. This is very sci-fi.
And here's the cool thing. James Isaac, who directed this is his time with Cronenberg. He's also did the special effects for this film, and he worked on Naked Lunch. So that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
So there's the time to that. He also worked on Gremlins, Enemy Mine, House 2. So he's done, he's got some pretty good cred. As a director, he did something on Joe Bob's Drive-In Theater. I don't know what he did, but that's pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome.
Let's see.
Bun. My internet bit the dust. Fun. Internet bit the dust. And it bit it on down, and it bit it on down. Internet bit the dust.
This film's got pretty good direction. I mean, there's a lot of really good shots of Jason, especially here. In the cryogen lab and, him killing people. The Jason looks really good. It actually looks more human than the other Jasons. He's back to somehow not being a monster, and he's more human. You see Kane's hair sticking out, and he's,
it's very cool.
But also thinking about it, as many times as Jason's been resurrected, you got to think that he just gets resurrected in a different form every time, and it's not like, it's the same Jason, but he takes different forms, and that would explain that he's not, wearing the same clothes every time. He's got different masks, he's...
Okay.
He just does what he wants to do.
I'm going to go ahead and do the music stuff, because it's real quick.
Well, let me not drop the ball on that. I'm going to cue that up, too. Let's see. I'm just dropping it on all this. I'm trying to... Here we go. Hopefully it's not as loud as it should be.
I've got some good ones.
In the future.
Always good hearing the Chuck.
It is. It
It's
just makes
good.
me happy. We're going to go right at it here. Nile in their darkened shrines. Bloodbath, resurrection through something.
Resurrection through Carnage.
Okay.
So we're doing 2002.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
when this was released in America. I think that makes
A lot of
sense.
good stuff came out in 2002.
Behemoth, that Zoa Kia Cultus, which is my favorite Behemoth record.
Zia Cultus, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. The Crown, Crowned in Terror. Soilworks, Natural Born Chaos, which is the only record they ever did that I liked.
It's a good record, yeah.
Again, another band and the only album that I ever liked from them, Amon Amarth versus The World, the only record they ever did that I liked.
First album I ever heard by them, and that goes back to me hearing some of the first like really heavy stuff I started listening to. I bought a Metal Blade sampler called Uncorrupted Steel 2, and it had Death and Fire on there.
Nice.
It had Vehemence, it had Dying Fetus, it had a lot of stuff on there. So it was a good intro to some heavier stuff.
This is really quick, though. I'm just going to run through this. Grave, Back from the Grave, Disgorge, Consume the Forsaken, Bolt Thrower, Honor, Valor, and Pride, Necrophobic, Blood Hymns. A band I have always liked. They're not a death metal band. They're more of a prog band, but I'm going to throw them a bone here. It's my favorite record they ever did, which is November, and it's Dreams d'Azur. I love this band.
You got me into that.
They're
band.
a really cool band.
That last record you showed me was fantastic.
And then our dear close friends here, back to back, Paul Ryan, Origin, Informus, Impotence.
Nice.
Whatever, if I can't, some of this stuff, it's like, how much weed did you smoke?
Or how much tequila did you drink in this case?
Impaled, Mondo Medicale.
Oh, yes.
And then my almost next to the last, Immolation, Unholy Cult.
Love it.
And my favorite record from 2002, death metal, Decapitated Neilty.
Yes.
And that's it, kids. Fun.
The movies in 2002 are going to be really interesting. There's some really good ones. A lot of huge titles that came out that kind of set the cinema standard. And there you see Jason frozen cryogenically when he'll be woken up in the year whatever 2055, whatever the fuck it is. We'll go through some films here. This is a fun one. With Altering the Future, we go at least for my end with the films. I'll do regular movies, then I'll do horror movies at the end. Which in this case, 2002, there wasn't a whole lot.
I need, if you don't care, just real quick. I apologize.
Jason X was the only like slasher.
I've got to throw this out there because it was not in the list, and I just saw it pop up on my little thingy here. And I'm going to do something weird tonight. When Corey's done with his list, I'm going to go through and give you the turds that came out in 2002. But there's a very important one, and these are future guests on our podcast. I had confirmation of this recently. I can't tell you when they're going to be on, but they will be on this year in a future podcast, and that is our friends in Immortal. Sons of Northern Darkness came out also in 2002.
It's awesome.
And they will be joining Corey and I via Skype / I'm assuming probably Skype. Because it's Norway. But anyway, so then unless we go to a show or something, I'm not sure yet. But anyway, so there you go. And sorry for interrupting you there, Corey.
You're good.
And I'll get back to the turd list in a minute.
All right, this is one I watched the other day. This is really weird, but it's a good comedy movie. The New Guy. It came out in 2002. The New Guy. It's with DJ Qualls is like the main character. He like... There's like Elijah Dushku's in it. She's fucking hot.
The kid from... Road Trip,
yeah.
Never seen that movie.
It's hilarious.
I have to watch it. Is it on a streamer?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
I don't have that.
Or Hulu. I think it's on
Hulu. Hulu, I've got that.
It's on Hulu.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. That's what I've been rocking. Yeah, it's kid's getting bullied in high school. Or he gets bullied in like a high school. He gets transferred, tries to reinvent himself by being like a badass. And Eddie Griffin's in it, and he like goes to his prison and visits him, and he kind of teaches him how to be a badass. And it's really cool. It's a lot of fun. What else? Scorpion King. Saw that in theater. A lot of these movies I saw in theaters because this was about around the time I was seeing a lot of stuff.
You were movie going.
Yeah. Me and my brother saw that one opening night. Nobody was there. Just me and him. We like The Rock. Scorpion King was pretty awesome. The first film is pretty solid. I dig it. Another favorite of mine, The Bourne Identity. Not so much into the entire thing, but the first movie was pretty awesome. For me, not liking Matt Damon, and then seeing that, I liked him a little bit. So that was cool.
I've still got to go. Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
I can't do those movies. But...
Star Trek Nemesis, which was the Eric Bana movie. Yeah, it was bad. Rented that from Blockbuster. Returned it the same night.
Cocksucker Video.
Let's see. The Transporter. That movie's pretty badass. Jason Statham.
I like Jason Statham.
Yeah, he's good.
I like Corey Statham better, his brother.
Yeah. You have Mr. Deeds.
Mr. T? That's fucking awesome.
No, Mr. Deeds.
Oh.
Yeah.
I got excited from that, sorry.
Made in Manhattan. A lot of people like that movie. I don't.
Never seen it.
It's a J-Lo movie. The Time Machine. That was a big one then.
Guy Pearce. That's a good movie. And you know what, kids?
It's not on fucking Blu-ray.
Yeah. Men in Black 2.
Can't do it.
Here's a really good one I liked. Equilibrium. And that's with Christian Bale.
Never seen it.
It's really good. It's
I know
straight
what it is.
up
I've never seen it.
Sci-fi. It's a good movie. Kind of takes a little bit from RoboCop's playbook a little bit, and a little bit of The Matrix. It kind of was meant to rival The Matrix when it came out, but it didn't do well at all. Matrix was too big then. Let's see. You got John Q, which was Denzel. Got Austin
Never
Powers,
seen it.
Goldmember.
Can't do it.
Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, which is my favorite Harry Potter film.
Never seen that. I'm going to have to watch it. Here's my thing.
That's my favorite one.
I didn't grow up with that stuff, so I'm kind of like, I feel grandpa-ish watching it.
Right.
The other one, what did you just said? Another one that was it made me think of something.
Austin Powers.
Only the first one, kids.
That's the
That's
best.
the only one.
The other ones are kind of too much.
That's the only one. The second one's okay.
You got
The third one's okay.
Lord of the Rings, Two Towers.
Can't do it.
The Sum of All Fears.
Can't do it.
Minority Report.
Can't do it.
I love that movie.
Weird. I can't do it.
The best. I'm not even Star Wars Episode 2. The movie's awful. Won a couple Razzies for how bad it was. It's just historically a fucking nightmare. The only Star Wars movie that I've been alive to see that I skipped seeing in theaters, and I did it for a good reason. The best film, in my opinion, that came out that year was Spider-Man, the first one.
Can't do it.
I thought the first Spider-Man was cool.
I can't do it.
When it came out initially.
Only Corey can save all. Not gonna stand when he's swinging around that American flagpole. Yeah. I can't do it. I'm sorry. Sam Raimi should be fucking hit in the face with my dick for making that movie.
I agree, but at the time it was pretty cool.
No, I mean, you have some kind of childhood whoopee with it. I got you.
No,
and Green Goblin looked like a goddamn Power Rangers villain.
Now that we have a lot
He's
more,
like, look, it's kind of like this thing over here. Look at my mic real quick. Look at my face through my pantyhose shield.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. Willem Dafoe needs to be hit with a bat.
Let's see, here we go with some 2002 horror, which we actually have more than I thought we did.
I've got a turd music list coming up for you guys. You're going to love it.
Here we go. We got a Hellraiser, Hellseeker. Got Cube 2, Hypercube.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's bad. American Psycho 2.
Oh.
Never seen it.
Turd.
Let's see.
The turds keep coming.
You got the Wishmaster, The Prophecy Fulfilled.
I think that's part 4.
Yeah, something like that.
It's bad.
Queen of the Damned.
Can't do it.
May.
Don't know what that is.
I don't remember that. Is that the one where she makes her own little... Yeah, she makes like her own best friend, and she hacks at people and makes like a person.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty cool.
Well,
like the ending is Halloween Resurrection.
Love it.
It's great. It's one of my favorites that year. Fear.com.
Never seen it.
It's pretty raunchy.
I like Corey.com. I get all my horror news there.
It's a horror comedy, Eight-Legged Freaks with David Arquette.
Never seen it.
Blade 2. It's the best one in my opinion.
I'm a Trinity guy.
I like Trinity, but
yep, Ryan Reynolds. Thank you.
The Ring,
Hannibal Smith, or something like that. No, it's fucking A-Team.
Yeah, The Ring.
Cut your panties off. Look. That's what Dr. West does. He'll cut your panties off.
You got the Resident Evil movie came out that year.
I'm gonna cut your fucking panties off.
28 Days Later.
Turd.
Yeah, it is a turd. It's a long, drawn out turd. But still popular that year. Because people are turds. Red Dragon.
Can't do it. Here's real quick on that. Here's the thing. A fan of that franchise. People say, "Oh well, Manhunter didn't have fucking Anthony Hopkins in it." Doesn't matter. I can't. The Red Dragon. That's a thumbs down.
Yeah.
Continue.
Cabin Fever.
Never seen it.
It's gross. It's Eli Roth's debut film, I believe.
Never seen it.
One of your favorites that you like, Ghost Ship.
I'm a big fan of that movie.
It's
I know
good.
it's gay.
No, the intro is like
it's really lame.
The entire thing,
but I really like it.
Best film. This isn't really a horror film, but it kind of rides the line. But this is the best one in 2002. And I'll give
Titanic 3.
Now I'll give it all the credit in the world. Bubba Hotep.
That's a great picture.
It is.
It's a great picture, and
it really is. It's a good movie.
Corey's Blu-ray is actually for sale right now on eBay under GoreChristAuctions.com, and all the proceeds go to him to go
for $420.69.
Yeah, and all the proceeds of that go to his next horror convention.
Yep. So I'm asking a lot for it. See some trivia for Jason X. There was a lot to be had.
Let me get these
film.
turds real quick.
We'll go. We need to have a.
This is a bad list.
We need to do this for segments. I mean, it's hard to do when you're in the 80s or the 90s, but
it's easy.
When you got the 2000s, I mean, there's
this
just
is bad.
Like, turd.
If I offend anybody out there, I will full disclosure say that I'm kind of in my own thing and I'm into death metal and I can't do this stuff. Does not mean that I don't like all these bands, but some of them I really don't. And if I hurt your feelings, I apologize. Agalloch, never listened to him. Apparently, some of the members of that band listen to this podcast, so I am not saying a word about it. They released an album called The Mantle. I love
that record.
I've never listened to
them.
I
really do.
I've never
atmospheric. It's good.
I've never listened to them. I know nothing about them, but apparently one of those guys on one of those podcasts listens to us, and thank you, sir. You get the thank you from Dr. West. Don't know anything about your band. I apologize. Kill Switch Engage, Alive or Just Breathing. I'd rather eat my own shit. Shadows Fall, The Art of Balance. Rather eat my own shit. Megadeth, Rude Awakening. It's too bad you didn't know D on Cocaine, Dave, because that's a fucking turd.
That's a live record.
Yeah, it's a fucking turd.
Sounds like they filmed it in there.
Chevelle, Wonder What's Next, turd. We already have a Tool. We don't need a band called Chevelle pretending they're Tool. Motorhead, Hammered, not a fan. But it's got Time to Play with My Dong.
Time to Meet My Meat.
Corn Untouchables, turd. Manowar, Warriors of the World, turd. ISIS, Hipster Band, turd. Dio, Killing the Dragon, worst album he ever made. Symphony X, The Odyssey, actually their best record.
Yep.
Nightwish, Century Child, great album. It's not my genre, but it is very good. The Second Down record, turd. In Flames Reroute to Remains, when they became fucking metalcore, turd. Oh, look at that. Look what I forgot, and it's on my turd list. Cannibal Corpse, Gore Obsessed, turd. Sorry, that's a long story. I can't explain that on here for legal reasons. Hammerfall, Crimson Thunder, fantastic record. OTEP, everything they ever did was shit. Megadeth, another live record, still alive and well, turd. Unless that's an album, I don't know. I wasn't buying their crap at that point.
No.
Dream Theater, 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence, fantastic record if you're a music fan. If you're not, then you don't know anything about that band. And this is a funny one. This may be the biggest turd on this list. I'm going to come back to it. I'm coming back to it. Here's you another turd. Treyu, Suicide Notes and Butterfly Wings. Here's you another turd.
Tramp stamp wings.
Here's you another turd. 1919 Turn Black Light Fighter. Saxon Heavy Metal Thunder, record's okay. Here's you another turd. God, this dates this list. Laguna Call, Kamalalis.
Kamalele.
He found my... I told you her pussy was wet. Black Sabbath, Past Lives. You should have put the fucking barrel down. Vitter Sword, turd. You should have stayed in fucking Dimmu Borgir. Blind Guardian, Not the Opera. Can't deal with it. It's an overrated record. Sentence, The Cold White Light. If you're into like goth rock, it's pretty good. Other than that, I can't really give you anything. Tyr, How Far to Asgard. The only record that they ever did that I liked. Opeth, Deliverance. Too goddamn slow.
I like it.
That's cool.
Not their best at all.
Norma Jean, Bless the Martyr, whatever. I know it looks like a turd. I got another turd. I got another turd on here, but I'm going to I'm saving the big turds for last. Okay.
Those take a plunger.
Cataclysm, Shadows and Dust, turd. Pagan's Mind, Celestial Entrance, their best album. If you guys are into like progressive power metal, they're from Norway. They're fantastic. I'm going to skip some of this stuff because it's not even worth me mentioning. Here is a... Okay, I never understood this. Here is a fucking turd of a band. We're getting into the big turds right now.
We're getting into the fucking floaters.
Queens of Stone Age, Song for a Damn.
Yeah, you're real witty making a band called fucking Eagles of Death Metal. What you need is my balls in your mouth, you fucking shitbag. I hate that fucking band. It's like, really, you were in Caius and then you go start your hipster bands? You need to be beaten to death with a bat. Bon Jovi, Bounce, turd, done. 3 Inches of Blood. How did that band get a record deal? I had the unfortunate privilege of seeing that band once, and it was like the beginning of beard metal. That's the only thing I'll give those guys credit for. They're like the beginning of beard metal. And speaking of beard metal,
I play D&D, I have a beard.
Here's probably the biggest turd on this list. Remission by my student.
That's their first.
That's a fucking turd.
Yeah, they got that. That's the only album out there I don't have.
I can't.
For reasons.
I can't deal with it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, whatever, little death metal drum roll for you. The worst album on this list. Are you ready? I hate this fucking band. I'm going to go on a small rant about it. I always wanted to beat to death the singer. I don't appreciate them sampling Phantasm on their debut record, and I have never understood why hot women date men that listen to this band and still wear their shirts in 2018. System of a Down, suck a dick, fucking die, rotten hell, fuck you.
They put Phantasm in one of their songs?
You've never heard that? It's like,
no.
He'll never let you know, boy. You'll never let you know, boy.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah, they've sampled him going, boy. It's all over that first record and that song. He's like, you'll never let you know, boy. Makes me want to fucking puke.
That's stupid. You know more about them than I do.
That band's a fuck. Well, I saw them. They were in like touring. Like them and fucking Slipknot, they were on like every goddamn tour that year. Yeah. It's like they were just being crammed on everybody. Although at that point, Slipknot was already established at that point. But if you guys go back in time a few years, like late, like 98, 99, 97, 99, somewhere in there, 97, 99, I think around 99.
Slipknot was
99,
just coming up
99. So System of a Down was breaking around the same time as that, and it's just a fucking turd. Anyway, I hate that fucking band. Sorry for the rant. Sorry if I offended anybody, but this is a death metal podcast and horror. We don't do fucking bullshit, crap, garbage, dog shit on here.
You're going to see Kane Hodder's shitty face right here. We're getting to the meat and potatoes of this film here.
And it's a Kane pizza.
Where you see some really, oof.
Kane pizza.
Looks kind of like Lance Henriksen. When he takes the mask off. That's a little disturbing. But her right here, you're going to see soon the little liquid nitrogen face smash, which is nice. Look at that. He's getting the nipple clamps. I like that. And that chick's really hot, whoever she is. Which there's some weird stuff in this movie, you know. You just get nipple clamp. You don't really see those in Friday the 13th movies too much.
No.
Usually see straight fucking. You don't see any.
Well, this is like a different time.
BDSM
people are doing this stuff, and this is, they're into sex, and, they're into the,
Well, he's got an android and her fucking nipples.
Let them bodies hit the flow, and, and all that stuff, So whatever.
The face is about to smash into the counter.
But I get it, but in my opinion, as a fan of death metal, I think this was a really dark time for music.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people were doing what they had to do to survive. And it's really sad, actually, what was going on with music in 2002. I was all over the place at that point. I was listening to pretty much whatever. But I did not do the new metal thing.
Right.
That's not a knock on it. If people grew up with that and like that, that's fine. But it was not for me, obviously, with my System of a Down rant. I'm sorry, but I can't do that band. I had friends that were into that, and I just, little shout out to Eric there. I always thought you were a fucking idiot for liking that band. But, I really did. It's fucking garbage. It's like, there's no nice way of saying that. And,
I think there's little nipples that fall off.
Yeah, it's Mr. Skinless.
Yep. I don't have a time counter to do it somewhere around 28 minutes, 30 seconds. We're already half an hour into this movie.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, we're rocking it out tonight.
This movie's only an hour and a half, too. It's like it's like Adam Sandler length for a movie.
It's perfect, though. This is what we needed. We needed something from this era, and I think it's fun we're doing something from this era because we didn't have anything from this era.
Never done it. So Max, you're the first.
And I'm sorry for the some of the stuff, but I just got to be honest about it. If you're a fan of what we listen to and what we do and the guests we have, I can't do the what was your name again? I can't do it. I can't do it.
It's an inside joke, but
yeah, I can't do that. It's a System of a Down joke to a troll, but he's got money, but he fucks whatever. Don't understand it. But yeah, whatever.
There we go. We got some action going with the butt.
I don't know, everybody's horny in this movie. It ought to be just called Viagra. It's real.
No, it's Jason XXX.
It's 2010. What a coincidence. And it's the 10th film.
I mean, they're just like bored on a ship fucking. That's all they're doing, which is what I would do on a ship myself. Just,
this music, though, is enough for you to be Jason in this and kill people.
Right.
You know, one thing I will say real quick before we get much further into this, I think they should have just left him like that and just killing people in space.
Well, he does most of the movie. He only does that Uber Jason thing near the end. I mean, it's like the last.
He looks like a cracked out hockey player. Like right here, he looks really cool, actually.
Yeah, he's the OG. You know, he's still got he's got like a newer style mask, but you know.
You could tell that's Kate Hodder too.
Yeah, it's got.
I don't think you could really ever tell it was him, really.
Well, he's always wearing like a full-on bodysuit. Here we go. This is a very iconic part. This is really the best.
This is your favorite kill, isn't it?
No, the whole franchise, but this movie, yeah. There's not a lot of really memorable ones. This one is memorable to the entire franchise. Like, this is a really good...
Is this the cryogenic freeze?
Yeah, it's a well-thought-out kill, and it's something that hasn't been done, I don't think, in any horror movie. Like, not to this... It's pretty visceral.
Don't we get a sink shot, too?
I think so, yep. She gets buried into the cryo... The liquid nitrogen, and then boom... You even get a shot of the you get a shot of the whole broken-in face with
Cheers
the
to whoever
hole.
did the makeup for this movie. It's pretty bloody.
Well, the director did a lot of the special effects for this. I don't know if he did the visual, that gore stuff or not, but
that was brilliant, though.
Yeah, it looked really good. And then he's got the nice, the new machete, which is like a futuristic version. But yeah, through the first good bit of the film, he's just Jason in space, fucking shit
Does
up.
he ever have slicks from this at his table, Kane?
Oh yeah, he does.
I mean, if you grew up with this is probably your favorite picture.
No, I mean, I've watched so many of the... I grew up watching the old ones, a lot. And this one, it was the first one I could see in theaters, so it was cool.
But you like this one, though.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's got some nostalgia for you.
It's a special place in my heart because...
No, it's cool. I mean, I'm honestly trying to open up to people out there that are more your age for
Here's
this.
the setting for it. I was 12 years old. Wasn't a lot of horror coming out at the time, especially a Friday the 13th film. I mean, the last one came out in the... was it 92? Something like that? Jason Goes to Hell?
No, it's 93.
Or was it straight up? It was 93. Yeah. So, you figure I was 3 years old. I wasn't going to go see it. And if I did, I didn't remember it. And my family...
Good movie. I'll always say it.
My family weren't big horror fans anyway. So these are the kind of things... What my mom used to do back before the movie theaters turned into the TSA and gave a shit. My mom used to walk up, pay for my movie ticket, and then she'd leave. And just let me go see movies by myself when I was a teenager. So a lot of times, like Resident Evil... I think it was Resident Evil 2... Team America, World Police, stuff like that. She would just pay for my ticket and then be like, all right, see you later, Corey, have fun. And she would just leave and go do something and come back and pick me up when the movie was over. So I'd go see a lot of movies by myself when I was an early teenager. And it was, it was a growing experience as a moviegoer, because at that time is when I really started going to see movies, because I always loved watching movies. But that was around the time where I was like 11 or 12 is when I started becoming a moviegoer, where I would go see shit in theaters.
And you're also a child of a generation that I want to share with everybody right now.
Want free movies? Blockbuster announces a free rewards membership. Earn free rentals on DVDs, VHS,
Hell yeah.
movies, and games.
I still have my Blockbuster membership card. Still have it.
Now guaranteed on DVD, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. From director
Crouching Corey, Hidden Gore Christ.
Revenge and Redemption. Starring Chow Yun-Fat, Michelle Yeoh, and Jean Ziyi.
Starring Dick is Fat.
Entertainment, rated PG. Blockbuster, the best way.
Matt Damon, rated PG.
And I'm going to find some more here, because the one I'm really trying to find is just not... Here we
But,
go. Here we go. Hold on. I got a good one.
Every kind of takeout has its own box. Chinese. Pizza. Fun. Nobody has more fun than Blockbuster, so if you want great takeout without the calories, make it a Blockbuster night.
Make it a Blockbuster night with Corey Gore Christ.
Use this for great entertainment, and use this for a free rental. Complete all the punches to get yours, and you're automatically...
Meet Cody Gilchrist.
An all-new Century 5 Buick. So if you're gonna win, better make it a Blockbuster night.
I got one more, and
Those
these
are
are. Well, I mean, I feel like it's appropriate with the year we're doing, because it was still alive. In CDs, a lot of people may not know this.
It's alive and well
CDs
at the
were
time.
selling really well at this point.
The streaming market hadn't hit yet. Not until, The late
Here we go.
2000s.
I have the catalyst, and I'll stop here. It's a Blockbuster video ad from 2002. Enjoy. LaJoy. That's cheap Chinese food if you don't know that. And my internet just shit the bed. Hold on. I have the epic fail. Come on. No, you got to love live recording, and you can't.
Whoa. Buy in?
Really?
Is that a fucking bird? It was like, Rear.
Hold on. This is from 2002. I want it to play.
Here we go. Oh. She's got the nice boyfriend blood spatter.
I thought it was
Look, he pulls it out through the back. Fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
I mean, he's pretty sadistic in this film. Like, he's not fucking around. What I do like about this film is Kane Hodder
Damn, this fucking thing.
as Jason in this film is just pretty awesome.
Whoa. Buy any movie?
Really?
Play any ad and
I don't
Get
understand
a
what...
free rental. Ray, get out here. You gotta see this. Would have killed you to knock first?
You get more when you buy movies at Blockbuster, like free rentals. This holiday season, buy any new movie on DVD or video, even the biggest hits, and you'll get a free rental.
pretty cool. Or video, because they still fucking have VHS tapes.
Blockbuster.
It's awesome. That's the only formats we had then.
Corey, I mean...
Well, here's the virtual game.
Corey is a
bullshit.
Blockbuster night. That's all I gotta say.
I am. This is actually Todd Farmer, the guy that directed this film. He
looks like Jax from fucking Sons of Anarchy.
He's the writer. He also, I think, did
Sons of Anarchy.
the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I don't know if it was the
Massacre.
prequel. I don't think it was the remake. I think it was the other one. The whatever the fucking origin thing they did.
We're gonna see what John Farmer directed besides this. Oh, there's a demon in here too.
Yeah, it's like a little.
He's playing Doom.
It's a little simulator. He's Doom.
That's what this movie looked like to me. It looked like that Doom turd movie with The Rock in it.
Oh man,
That movie's a fucking turd.
it is a turd.
It is. It's just that's another Carl Urban turd too.
Carl Turden. Let's see.
Carl Urban, you've done one good
He
movie.
wrote that
Can you name it?
My Bloody Valentine remake.
That's a stinker.
That Drive Angry movie, which is actually pretty cool.
Never seen it.
It's Jack. What's his name? Nicolas Cage.
Nicholas
sorry.
B movie.
Yep. Oh, he's Nicolas C movie is what he is.
Yeah, he spit some turds out.
Oh.
Make it a turd.
This was
night.
his first movie that he wrote. Todd Farmer. And he did that Messengers movie. Messengers 2: The Scarecrow. And then,
Messengers 5, my underpants.
and then nothing else. I mean, I guess that's all he did. I could have swore though.
So Billy Joe Tom Bob Farmer that directed this.
I thought he was a part of like that Platinum Dooms thing with Michael Bay, but I don't know.
You know what we can talk about here, kids, about his career, though, the director? We'll never meet you, so we're going to go ahead and talk about him real quick. Your career ended with nu metal. That was it. Goodbye. That was it. Nothing else.
There we go. Now Jason has entered the virtual reality game. Where he's just kind of standing there watching him. It's like, what the hell? This isn't a level. And here this fucking douchebag goes. He's just choking him. He's like, I think I'm stone cold. Put him down. Oh, this is pretty funny. Here you go. Here goes Todd Farmer. Melon Farmer, sorry. I don't know why you don't shoot him. Oh, look. Fucking backbreaker. He just did a fucking...
It's goddamn... It's Kane Lesnar.
This is pretty nice, though. Just bludgeons his face into steel.
And his career. Didn't.
He should have won a couple more. He should have bashed him a couple more times, I guess.
He just gave him a slammy.
Okay, some trivia courtesy of IMDb. Yes, he did get a slammy. That was very nice. The film only suffered a couple seconds of cuts alterations to earn an R rating, making it the least censored entry in the entire Friday the 13th series.
It's very bloody.
Yeah. But you can tell...
Who is that? I've seen him before in something else.
They didn't really try. The music played during Jason's first look at the virtual reality Camp Crystal Lake, which happens later, is the musical score as the one It's the same musical score as the one in Friday the 13th Part 2, featuring Fuck Off. Jason Voorhees' eyes never blink when they are shown. The first film in the Friday the 13th series to rely on digital effects for gore and death shots, which makes perfect sense. 2000, everything's,
It's the new millennium. It's Y2 Corey K.
Betsy Palmer was doing a play.
Break the Corey down.
There you go. Betsy Palmer was doing a play in Toronto at the time Jason X was filming. According to Palmer, one of the producers contacted her about possibly reprising a role as Pamela Voorhees. They did not come to an agreement, and the character was not included in the film. Smart move.
No, what, not having her in it?
Smart move by her disagreeing, technically, the terms of whatever they probably wrote her in.
It would have been fucking funny. Look, at this point, when you're on the 10th film, you can do whatever you want. And there was a kid the other day. I was at a used store down in Tampa, and there was a kid, and he literally was asking me about Friday the 13th movies. I fucking love them, I'll watch this one, I'll watch whatever, I'll watch any of it. I like all of it at this point. And his friend walks up, oh, there's better stuff than that. And I was like what? And he was like Scream. I was just like, I know you didn't just say that to me. Those movies are fucking turds. They're all fucking turds. Wes Craven should be slapped upside the face with a dick, no matter where he's at, for making those. I'm glad it was your cash cow, but those movies fucking suck. I'm not scared of that stupid fucking fruit either.
Do you know killed my butt in this movie?
It's like, really? Like, I'm not... Have you ever heard of Leatherface? Because I'll just hack you in half. That's how I do stuff. I'll put you on a meat hook.
There you go.
I'm putting your screamy face on a meat hook. Whatever his name is. Dingleberry face.
Dingleberry face. Here's another good...
Let them bodies hit that flow. Let them bodies hit that flow. Let them bodies hit that flow.
I can't do that shit either.
Oh, it's about to here. Here's a funny tidbit. Several of the characters in the film are named after Todd Farmer's online friends in a PC game, EverQuest.
Oh my god.
I think he owes them some money. What do you think?
It sounds like he was playing EverQuest when he made this. It's like, what I want to do is put Jason Voorhees in the game Doom and make it kind of like Alien. Todd, I hate to tell you, buddy, you fucked up. You fucked up real bad. But this movie's fun. It has a camp quality to it. Campy, no pun intended, quality for this that I'm enjoying watching this, actually.
It says this film...
It's so bad, it's awesome.
This film takes place 452 years after Freddy vs. Jason. Well, how's that? Okay.
That movie is the worst in my opinion in the franchise.
Jason X is the first Friday the 13th film to be rated 15 in the UK. Although Friday the 13th Parts 2, 3, and 6 were originally rated 18, they were re-rated to 15, Part 6 in 2002, and Parts 2 and 3 in 2008. Let's see. Lexa Doig, whatever her last name is, and Lisa Ryder had to be released from Jason X by a certain date to start on Andromeda.
Was this shot... That's where I know them from. That's a great show. That's before Kevin Sorbo was a Jesus freak, and he was still doing sci-fi. It's actually really good.
And in
it's follow-up to Hercules.
In Andromeda, Lexa played the avatar of the ship's artificial intelligence, and Lisa Ryder played a crew member. In the movie, Ryder is the AI construct, and Lexa joins the crew. So there's that. The name...
Wait, for this movie?
Yeah.
Weird. Hey, okay, so I want to ask you something real quick about this. So, was this shot in Canada? Because it looks like it was.
Yeah, Toronto.
I'm telling you, I know my shit, kids. If it looks like low-budget sci-fi, I've watched it.
It looks cold, too. So
I've watched it.
Kane Hodder's final appearance as Jason. Yeah, we all know that. Which is funny, because this disappointed me. I watched the special features of this when it came out on DVD.
Uh-huh.
And,
did you get it at Blockbuster?
Probably.
That's amazing. Go ahead. That was not a joke. I actually think it's amazing.
But I watched the special features, and it had a segment of Kane Hodder, and they asked if he wanted to be Jason again, because the Freddy vs. Jason thing at this point, when that came out, was being teased. Because this is when New Line had acquired the rights to Jason. So that was already a talk, since this movie was New Line. The Jason Goes to Hell was New Line. That was the first one, because they introduced...
That's correct.
Freddy,
that was the first. They had bought the franchise.
Yeah.
Oh. That had bought the franchise. Our producer about gave me a stroke. But yeah, I went through the ceiling. I was like, Kane's here to kill me.
I mean, we got to get scared once in a while.
It worked.
We can't with this.
I actually, my heart's going back 9.
But yeah, ever since Jason Goes to Hell, when you had the Freddy hands come up, because, you know, New Line is Freddy's their baby, and Paramount, this was their baby. Besides what, you know,
I guess at that point they were like, here, you can use him, I guess.
Yeah. But once it got to this film, you know, Jason X, where now they're still talking about it. And I think,
they've been sitting on their laurels at this point.
Yeah.
You're looking at what?
Oof.
Since it's 2002, technically, so you're looking at almost 10 years
a nice
between the pictures, right?
Nice death spike by Mr. Voorhees. Look, it's on a...
Is that correct? So 10 years between pictures.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Almost 9 years. But
from, Friday, Final Friday, and then, Freddy vs. Jason. But on the special features for Jason X...
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about almost 10 years between this film and Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah,
which is crazy. It's like 9 years.
Which I think a year later they put out Freddy vs. Jason, or was that? Yeah, it was 2003, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's correct.
So it came out a year after this one was released in the U.S.
We'll be giving that to somebody.
But Kane Hodder stated in there that, you know, they're like, are you going to play Jason and Freddy vs. Jason? Because I guess at that point they had already started writing it and talking about it.
Right.
And he was like, yeah, I would love to reprise my role as Jason. And, of course, they got Ken Kersinger. Don't know. I still don't know why that happened. I'm sure it's on the internet and people already know. But would it have made a difference as bad as that movie was? No. I mean, it's probably for the better that Kane Hodder wasn't in it. If he had been in it, it probably would have been written differently because it was written for Kane Hodder. I mean, there's a lot of good inventive kills in that film. I like how they tried to make it a good movie, and seeing it, I saw that in theaters also, and that was a very, very good theater experience because there was people treating it like they were gambling on it. You know, there was people in the crowd that wanted Freddy to win, and there was people that wanted Jason to win. The majority were Jason, you know. And somebody brought their baby into the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking stupid. Every time Freddy was on screen, you know, because the first little while Freddy's just kind of doing a narrative about, you know, he's trying to get Jason to make it look like Freddy's killing people, not him, you know, using him as an archetype, which, you know, it was pretty inventive how they put them together. But Ken's portrayal of Jason just didn't... He was like a Frankenstein, and he had platform boots because he's a tall guy, and you know, I met him at Texas Frightmare, which we'll talk about that whole thing. I completely forgot about that. We'll get into all the Texas Frightmare shit here in a little bit. But like I said, met Ken, tall guy, very, very nice. No disrespect towards himself as Jason. Seeing him in the photo ops as the Jason from Freddy vs. Jason, loved it. It was super cool to see him in the costume. It looks cool in person. But on film, I just hated it. You know,
the movie's bad.
Jason looked too old. He acted old. He was you know, Jason needs to be...
It's gay when you get Robert Englund and you can't go ahead and get Kane Hodder. If it had had them, that's an iconic piece of material.
It's the Clash of the Titans, you know, with those two.
Even though it's a turd movie, but it would at least have some kind of substantial something to it with that. But I'll be honest with you, I was really disappointed. And I didn't get to cover this with Kane when I talked with him in an interview, but I was really disappointed they didn't, because he totally could have done it, why they didn't have Kane play Jason in the remake. Because I think, again, Derek Mears sucks as Jason. I just don't like him. I like the movie, and he looks cool, but if they had Kane, I think it would have gave the old school fans a little something more to rejoice about. And you know, it's 2009, which means they shot that thing in 07 or 08. He could have totally fucking still done it. Right. And I just think it's another waste where he could have been Jason. That guy's chopped in half. He's filled the blood spilled from his bowels. Because you ain't made a good record since that. Anyway, yeah,
it's just, you know, well, that's very nice. This film way better than Freddy vs. Jason. It's worth watching. There's a lot of good deaths in it.
I got to be honest with you. You're probably gonna think this is weird.
And I'll
take this over the first Friday the 13th picture. I don't like that movie.
It's too, you know, I get it for being a staple and what it was, but
I don't like the movie itself.
Do I ever just want to watch the first Friday the 13th?
Terrible.
Almost never.
It's terrible.
I'd rather, even though Steve Dash was a total fucking queef, I'll watch Friday the 13th Part 2 because it's still a good movie. I can't not watch it.
Sure.
It's really good, and I love Amy Steele.
I'll be honest with you.
And it's just, Betsy
like
Palmer's
this
great, but I didn't, when you really go into it, it's a setup for the second film, because when you see Jason at the end, it's all about Jason Voorhees, but then it ends up being his mom, and that's kind of the whole thing.
I haven't seen this movie to death, and I guess that's another reason it's fun to watch.
Yeah, it's something fresh. I haven't seen it in a really long time.
And that's why I wanted to do it. We have done a lot of Friday the 13th pictures here on Phantasm. And
who would have ever thought we did this film? Nobody.
You all can
to us,
blame me that we did this. Well, no, it makes sense. It makes sense with who we have on. It's that time frame. He's celebrating an anniversary for the first Soulfly record, and that's why I picked it. It was like, it did not make sense to give him something, old.
Yeah.
Unless he's back in Sepultura, then I'll give him old shit all day long. But, and I love him. That's no disrespect, but it's like, this fit, and it's us doing new territory. I don't think we've ever done a picture this new.
No.
So it's cool.
The soonest we've done, I think, was either Warlock or, I think Warlock.
93, the Warlock Armageddon, yeah.
We might have done a 96 one. I don't remember which one it was.
But this is cool. I'm glad we did this. I think this is cool. That motherfucker's been in a bunch of movies. I don't know his name.
It is very cool. And,
but I could tell people all day long, what I'm into or whatever. But I mean, I would rather watch this than watch the first Friday the 13th, because I've seen it to death. I just don't want to see that movie ever again. It's just, I fucking hate Kevin Bacon. And, his mom doing the killing doesn't scare me. And I'll be honest with you, I don't like the girl in the first picture.
That guy, Adrian King.
I just don't. She's annoying.
And she gets killed off in the second one.
I love the girl in the second picture.
Amy steals the shit.
She's fucking awesome.
That guy you were looking at was Philip Williams. He's Danny and Tommy Boy.
Amazing. That's amazing. He's in a bunch of shit. Wait a minute, hold on. Don't tell me, was he not in the original Overboard?
I'm doing some digging here. I'll have to look. He's in that show, The Strain, if you guys want to keep up with Mr. Philip Williams. He's in that film, or that show, whatever.
Can't do it. Pretty sure he's Kurt Russell's best friend in the original Overboard, which they've remade, by the way, to my dismay, and I won't comment about that on this podcast.
I don't see it. What year was it?
87, 88, 89.
No, I don't see it. Who else we got?
What's his name?
Philip Williams. I'm trying to find this other dude, the guy that they just showed with the Boyd Banks, which is Fat Lou in the film. He was in Black Sheep. So you got one guy from Tommy Boy, you got this guy from Black Sheep. Or maybe that's the guy you were asking me about. No, he's a 90s guy. He was in Dirty Work. That's who that guy is. He's Creepy Harry in Dirty Work, because whenever they shoot the commercial where they sabotage the Philip Motors or whatever, the Norm Macdonald, they fill the David Koechner's cars with hookers and say that they're dead hookers.
What's his name again?
And he's like, I haven't seen so many dead hookers in all my life. And then the guy's, Creepy Harry's like, Lord knows I have. And it's one of the funnier parts of the film. So, Philip Williams. So he's a weatherman and superstar. He's in The Ladies' Man as a C&W station manager. There's his Fat Lou. He's in Knock Around Guys, The Tuxedo. A lot of stuff. Dawn of the Dead. He was Tucker in the remake.
I guess I'm just fucking crazy.
Land of the Dead. He was the Butcher. So that's cool. He's got a little thing spread around. He's more of a, a jobber, if you will. Where he, is a small role guy. This is probably one of his bigger roles on camera. Still not being a front runner, but he's in the movie a good bit, and he's a pretty funny character. So it's not bad. And there's not enough tits in this movie for me. I think there's a lot of hotness, but not enough.
There was
nudity.
a lot of stuff earlier.
Yeah, there was like some stuff here and there, but nothing.
Gave you a little 12-year-old boner back then.
Yeah, I was already pretty well into whacking it when I was 12. So I mean, this was like nothing. This was like softcore,
Gotcha.
Which it is. It's like
it is.
It's like Jason G. That's what it is to me.
I guess that's not him. It looks like him. He looks just like that guy in that, but he's too young to have been that guy, so that's definitely not him. I was thinking it was God, but anyway, they remade Overboard, and it's really stupid.
They remade that? Is that an Adam Sandler movie?
It's a Kurt Russell.
That's Going Overboard.
It's a Kurt Russell, a Goldie Hawn thing. They've remade it where some Middle Eastern guy is the one that gets amnesia, and then Chris Pratt's ex-wife is the one that takes advantage of it.
Anna Faris?
Correct.
Weird.
No interest. Anyway, but oh, and I just want to say this while just on air, just real quick, because this make me feel better. Fuck the Washington Capitals and fuck Movie Pass. I just want to say both of those things. So fuck Movie Pass and fuck the Washington Capitals. Just want to throw that out there. We're a turd that won't flush. But yeah, that Movie Pass is a fucking joke. Now it's $30 and you have to pay it all up front, and then you get some kind of iHeart subscription, which that company's in bankruptcy. It's just like, I don't want this. I wanted to get your Movie Pass.
People have Pandora. Nobody wants to do iHeartRadio. It's the same fucking thing, but it's like they waste all their money on those fucking shows they do. They have like iHeartRadio, like
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They're in bankruptcy.
Well, nobody listens to it. I mean, it's iHeartRadio is mainly for like serious streaming kind of stuff, like like FM radio still,
Right.
even though you can get it on your phone and on your fucking Xbox, but it's not. I don't know. People use Pandora. They know what that is. They don't want to. Nobody wants to get another, and Spotify. Spotify and Pandora are the two biggest, music streaming sites. Besides YouTube, also was huge with music streaming. So when you have those three, people don't want iHeartRadio. It's just, it's oversaturation, and then people are gonna hear about Spotify or Pandora first. And then, of course, YouTube, people are already using that. And those are all, paid subscriptions. So when you get something like iHeartRadio, it also needs paid subscriptions. It's kind of just pointless at that, People don't want all these fucking streaming music things. They have no use for it. When you have one, you can just have one. And then Pandora, you don't really have to pay for it. Premium is just so that you don't have to hear any fucking ads, and you can basically listen to any record that you want,
right?
And listen all the way through, and you get access to everything. And then there's Apple Music, and then there's something on Android. There's all this shit. So iHeart is just pretty useless. It's just no point. It's the same fucking thing as all the other music streaming stuff. There's just no point to it. Now we're getting closer to the Uber chase, and we're pretty far into this film. We're almost over with it, actually. So this film goes by really fast, which is fine, I guess. The other Jason films, usually they got a pretty steady pace too. Jason films seem like they don't last very long,
right? Because
there's so much going on. It's just kill, 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 and then it's over. So, which is what I like. I like to get it all done. Hey, we got some android making out. See, I like her right there. She was the one doing the nipple clamps earlier. But there wasn't much more. Sorry, I'm finishing up here. I mean, that's all. There's just these chicks left. I think that boss guy got the axe. They're still going through Kane's funhouse here, finding all the corpses. But yeah, I guess talking about Texas Frightmare a little bit. It was insanely busy. Had a great time. All the guests were super cool. Clyde Barker was amazing. It took me a day and a half to meet him, but it happened. The lines for him were about what you would expect.
Right.
Lined up right at 5 whenever everything opened, and I waited about 3.5 hours
to meet him
in line, and it didn't end up happening. So I left.
No shit, I didn't know that.
I think they actually were like, yeah, he's not going to be coming back, but you can try again, because...
This was, what was this, Friday?
Yeah.
Now, was he there all weekend or just 2 days?
He was there all weekend. So, basically, you have up to like 200 VIPs or whatever. They paid the 200-something bucks and got line skips, and they get in an hour early and all this stuff. So they had to get through 200 of just those people, and that took all of Friday for the most part. And I think they still had it going on Saturday, because by 8:30 or something, Clive was done. I mean, the fact that he was even there sitting through all that, and it was very hot in those rooms. And
did they have him like hidden?
Yeah, he was in his own room, and it was his own like complete room. Like, it had all his merch in there, it had all of his novels, his art prints, like T-shirts.
Did he have his paintings with him and
slicks.
shit too?
Oh yeah, it was very cool. So he had his own like wing, with just once you pretty much go through a hallway, that's a line, and then you go through this little tiny.
Was he
room.
nice?
Oh, he was amazing, super cool.
You didn't really get to talk to him though, probably.
No, they were moving everything along. Even tried to get a media plug for you guys, and they freaked out. So Clive didn't. Clive was like, "Oh sure," and then they're like, "No, you can't." And,
are you fucking kidding me?
Trying to move the line, which is another thing I want to.
Was this the staff there or his handler?
Both. It wasn't the staff. It was like his staff. It wasn't the convention staff.
Jesus.
Which is really lame, because before that happened, and the only reason I had asked was because there was this couple that had his prints. I don't know if they had bought original pieces from Clive previously, or they recreated it and they had their own art inspired by him. I don't know what the deal was. But they got it signed by him. It even said on the sign, when you walk in, no personalizations, no this, no that. They got their shit personalized. They talked to him for like ever, and then he signed the prints and all that stuff, and then they like both freaked out like they had just won the lottery. So I don't know what they actually had. I looked at it. I don't know if it was like OG first, like original prints of something that Clive did. That's what it looked like. But it must have been something special for him to personalize it, because there was no personalizations. So they took up a lot of time talking to him, and then, So I was like, all you gotta do, if they just let me, was just, I already had it, I already had the thing queued up to record. And I was just like, this is Clive Barker listening to Phantasm. I've taken 5 extra seconds. But, these people can talk for like 2 hours and hold up the line, which, I had been there for 3.5 hours the day before, and I waited another hour and a half to 2 hours again Saturday, waiting in line for him again, because I kept going back and forth between the line.
Now, was this day 1 or day 2 where the couple...
This was day 2. This was when I was in the room. Like, whenever I waited 3.5 hours on Friday, I hadn't even gotten to that room yet. We were in, like, the first room.
Now, do they have this VIP gold band stuff where they let their little nerd people go in front of everybody like these other ones?
Yeah, they all do that.
It's fucking bullshit. And I'm going to tell you something right now. That's why I don't go to it. And the fact that you just told me that, this is... I want everybody to hear this right now that listens to our podcast. You will never see me at a convention. Any convention. I don't do conventions. I don't like them. I don't like being around people. And, no offense... If I have fans, by some weird chance, that's amazing, but I don't do people. And that kind of stuff is bullshit. Because isn't it really just a pissing contest? Like, I'm a bigger fan you are. I'm a bigger fan you are. Isn't that all it is? Because that's all it is when I get stuff.
More money to throw around. It's like, I get it if you live in Dallas, you don't have to spend the money to get there. But, I did. And
did they sound foreign? Maybe they were British. Maybe they were...
No, they weren't. They were Americans. I just don't know what it was. It seemed like...
Maybe they produced a film. Maybe they were somebody in the business. I mean, I'm trying to play devil's advocate on it.
They were like dressed up like they
had a little gold badge.
No,
was it that shit?
I don't remember. The chick looked like she tried to be like a Cenobite. I don't know, but they both had art prints that looked like something of his, and they like freaked out like they had just gotten like.
He probably signed it for free.
Well, no, you have to take the money before you even go up there. But I think the guy especially like. Basically jumped into the chick's lap and was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" Like, I don't know what they had, if they recreated something he did and they signed it and he loved it. I don't know. But that's why I'm not too. It didn't bother me. I was just kind of like.
I mean, I'm glad it did. You don't have the personality for it to bother. That's why I can't go to this stuff.
But the other thing with me is the fact that you fill out a press form, and you get to be considered press. But all you really are is a free weekend pass person, and you're not even considered second tier. You're still like considered a normal.
Now, is this the case at all of them, or does they all do that to you? Okay,
but I've never really tried to really ask. With the staff and stuff, they only know so much. They kind of learn throughout the day, like every staff at every convention. They don't really know.
You tell them who you are, and some people are receptive to it, some people aren't.
Yeah, but, they do it by wristbands and by colors at Texas Frightmares. There's so much stuff going on. But, it's like you do press, which is basically a side job or like a hobby, but you're still considered less than somebody that pays $200. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, I'm going to pay up to $600 just being here and getting here.
Question, did those people stay in that line the whole time? Did they wait in the line?
Well, no. I guess in the Clyde Barker one, but...
That's what I meant, but they didn't get like escorted past everybody and then treated like that and then left.
No,
okay.
No, they have to wait in line regardless.
Okay, then he didn't know them then.
No, I don't know what the deal was.
Maybe they were some of the promoters or something. Who the fuck knows?
Well, they seemed very, very like ecstatic when he signed their stuff, and I think they might have been fans of his actual artwork, and that's what they were fans of. And when he signed, I feel like they drew it up themselves, and he really liked it.
They did something adored to
yeah, that's what I think, that they're aspiring.
Why would you want him to sign your adaptation of their work?
I don't know. I just don't know what it was.
That's why.
But I'm getting away from everything. But it was still very cool to meet Clive. I had a little bit more time when we did the photo op because I got to sit down with him with nobody else, and we just take the photo, and I got to talk.
So he wasn't taking photos at his table.
No. There wasn't time. There was too much fucking people. The lines are outrageous. Here's the Uber Jason coming up. I like Uber Jason, but him getting to be Uber Jason's fucking stupid with this ninja android shit. It's just ridiculous. But anyway, so besides waiting in line, they had Arrow Video there and Severin and Vinegar Syndrome, so that was really cool. To see all that, there's a lot of good merchants there, vendors, whatever. Yeah, Brad Dourif was very sweet. Again, thanks for coming on. He was very sweet talking to him at his table, and gave Mrs. Gorechrist and I hugs and said he'd love to come back on the podcast. That made me feel very good. Chatted with Nicholas Vince, who was the Chatterer and Hellraiser. He's also Kinsey in Nightbreed, which is amazing. Got him to sign my poster. He said he wanted to come on, which is very nice. Told me to get with him, so that was a person I did talk to about coming on, and he seemed very enthused about it. So I think with the Cenobite cast, they're pretty personable. I noticed. I think I would love eventually to get all of them on at once. I don't know how I can get that to work, but I think all of them are pretty cool about it, doing interviews and stuff as a whole. So.
Doug.
We'll work on
Doug.
that. I didn't talk to Doug. His lines were too busy. And I've met him before, and he's always very cool. But I saw him at the Alamo Draft House when they did the Hellraiser screening. The whole cast had come outside to the patio when me and Mrs. Gorechrist were out there just chilling. waiting on the movie to start, and they had all just come out there, and it was pretty surreal to see all of them just, this is the day before the convention, so...
No Clive, though.
No, he wasn't there, but the whole cast was there, like Simon Bamford and Barbie and Nick and Doug. It was really cool to see them just like appear and come out in the bar. It was really neat, It's like a red carpet, and seeing the Hellraiser cast show up, and they're just out there right next to your table.
Did you all watch that?
Oh yeah, it was amazing. See it in theaters. The print was gorgeous.
What other movies did they show there? The whole weekend.
They showed right before it. I think it was Wednesday. They showed Escape from New York, and they had Adrienne Barbeau do Q&A for that. And she mentioned on our interview, that you guys will hear soon, that she saw the print of it and it was gorgeous. It was probably the Scream Factory print. Because all that shit looks really good. Which they were having a John Carpenter. A little blowout, the Alamo Draft House there in Las Colinas. They had posters everywhere, like of Gary Poulin, who does like the Mondo stuff. He's from Dallas, so he does a lot of shit for that cinema, and he was there with his posters and shit. There was a lot of shit. All his movies were being played. Assault on Precinct 13, Escape from New York, Big Trouble in Little China.
They were playing them that whole weekend?
Like, during the week, yeah. They had a huge
they did like
John Carpenter blowout thing.
Right.
Because the theater is on a road called John Carpenter Highway. But it's not named after the John Carpenter, but it's still... They took advantage of it, and they made it into something. Yeah, it was really cool. And I took a picture. There was this huge mural that...
This is all in Dallas, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this was Las Colinas. This is like right outside of Dallas.
Gotcha.
Because everything in Dallas, there's so many surrounding cities.
Was the convention in Las Colinas too?
That was in Dallas, Fort Worth, like the airport. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It was at the Hyatt Regency. Very beautiful hotel. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I met a lot of cool people, bought a lot of cool stuff. Not my favorite convention. It was probably It just wasn't my favorite. I think my favorite was Days of the Dead Indie that we did last year, that we're doing next month.
Right.
And it was... I don't know, it's more of what you want out of a convention. Like, there's always something to do. You're up to like 4 a.m. partying. Everybody there is really cool. The celebrities are more personable there, it seems like. Texas Frightmare, it seemed a little bit too... It was too crazy. It was very... It gets bigger and bigger every year, and this one was probably the biggest they've seen it. And, it's the 13th year, so... It just went by fast, and it was... You couldn't even, I don't know. There was a lot to take away from it that was positive, and it's nothing to do with the convention itself or the organizers. Lloyd's a very good dude and does a lot for everybody. But the... I don't know. I just didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. Looking back on it, I got photo ops I'll probably never get again, with all the, meeting Ted White was amazing.
Right.
Doing a Kane Hodder photo op in costume was really cool, because I met Kane Hodder a million times. He's been on the podcast. I didn't interview him, but, I've talked to him a lot, and doing a photo op with him as Jason was really cool, it was, and it's Part 8 Jason, so that was nuts. And, Tom Morga was very cool. Super nice guy. And there's Roy, of course, and there you see Uber Jason, which I would do an Uber Jason photo op. I think that'd be fucking awesome,
Well, it's reminiscent from your childhood, too.
I just would. I think he's interesting. He's just a badass.
I'm really disappointed they're putting this in the video game.
Yeah, that's kind of just weird for the game. I mean, I get they're including everything, but I would much rather have them do the other Jason, because it would fit more with the game to have the Jason before the Uber. Well,
they're supposed to be doing. I mean, he's in. They've made, but they're supposed to be doing a map for Jason Goes to Hell. They're supposed to be doing it for all of it at this point.
I mean, that's cool, but I don't want to have to cycle through it and vote every time. Like, I would rather play it just as bots be him. I wouldn't want to do it online every other time, because you want you want to play the old school stuff when you're playing that game. And as much as I like this, this film for what it is, mixing in Uber Jason and having to vote with other online players, versus the old school stuff, it's like I want to play the old school stuff.
Sure, that's completely understandable.
So playing Uber Jason would be cool in some points, but not when you have to like mix it up between the other Jasons. By itself it's cool, but when you have to choose between Roy or Uber Jason, and then the people you're in a party with pick Uber Jason, it's just stupid.
It is. People that made that game are fucking stupid, though. So,
and you can choose the map, so you can have Uber Jason and Packanack Lodge. It's fucking retarded. It doesn't make any sense. But I guess we'll just have to sit through it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Days of the Dead in Indianapolis. That's going to be a lot of fun. They still haven't rounded out all the details yet. They got Dream Warriors Reunion, which I'm very excited about.
And that's where?
That's
the one you're going
Indianapolis,
to?
yeah.
Cool. Who else is part of that?
All the Dream Warriors. No Robert Englund, but Heather
Langenkamp?
Langenkamp's going to be there.
Nice.
I think Tony Todd's going to be there.
Nice.
Gene Simmons is the main thing right now.
Right.
Which is cool. When I meet him, it'll be...
Are you doing that too? Are you still doing the Gene Simmons thing?
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Here's the cool thing. I don't have to do the $300 shit for that, because A, it's already sold out. B, it's pretty much... I'm saving $100, and I'll tell you how. The Gene Simmons experience that you pay for, that the VIP people paid for, it's $300. You get a photo op, and you get basically you get a selfie, and then you get an autograph, and then you get the typical Kiss package where they just throw in a bunch of shit to make you pay $100 that you don't need. Like you get like a Kiss, you get like a Gene Simmons toy, and then you get like
it's a bunch of junk,
a laminate, and then you get some other thing, and you get some other thing.
Sounds like the crap they did in Knoxville.
They do it in everything. Yeah. Like just look up Kiss VIP meet and greet packages when you see them on tour in your neck of the woods, wherever you're at, overseas, whatever. They can jack it up. They jack it up to like $1,500. You get to meet the whole band, but they give you like a class ring. They give you like a Hot Wheels car. They give you all this bullshit that you don't need. They give you like 3 T-shirts. It's just like I don't want all this stuff. I just want to meet you and go home. This is the worst line in the movie. She's like, "This sucks on so many levels," and then she gets sucked through this tiny asshole. It's really fucking lame. Worst part of the movie. Worst part of the movie. And you don't see her tits. Good night. So yeah, instead of doing all that and paying the extra $100, I can pay $200. I can get a photo op separately, and then I can get the autograph.
Nice.
So it saves $100. So it's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Until they sell out. But Ira Hayden is my favorite Dream Warrior. He's the kid that's like the wizard or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely getting that. That's going to be awesome. PJ Souls will be there again. Excited to see her. Previous guest on the podcast, so that'll be cool to catch up with her. And, looking forward to it. Days of the Dead's a little more chill. As much as I like conventions, I wouldn't say like conventions, but as much as I like traveling and meeting actors that I like and shopping for horror-related toys and movies and stuff. The only takeaway from Texas Frightmare that I really didn't like about it was it was really, really busy, and it was kind of, I don't know. It was so busy to where it was like, what the fuck are we going to do? At some points of it. Like Friday was the busiest Friday I've ever seen, because usually Friday is kind of like a slower day because Saturday is always the busiest. But sure. I think at this point, with it being 13 years old as a convention, people know that Friday isn't that busy, so everybody goes Friday and Saturday. And a lot of times, guests are only there Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday.
Did you go all 3 days?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question real quick. I'm going to forget this. Other than Claude Barker, who were the other 4 other bad lines?
The Cenobites, they were all in one place. So Doug Bradley, Barbie Wilde, Simon Bamford, and Nicholas Vince.
See, that's weird. I wouldn't think anybody would want to meet them.
All of them were just...
It's weird.
The whole time it was
That's
packed.
so weird.
Like, they had separate lines for each one, and it was just a clusterfuck.
I mean, even as a fan of those movies, I'd just be like, eh. I mean, I've met...
No, it was a total clusterfuck.
That's weird.
The Saw people, I never saw them in their things. They were always at panels or photo ops. They were, like, never there at the times I went there.
And who were the Saw... So you've got the Jigsaw dude.
Yeah, Tobin Bell.
And then what's
very nice when I met him.
Actors from the films? Is that
Shawnee Smith, which is Amanda, and then you had Costas Mandler, who's the only one I saw, like, there at the tables, which he was... God, I feel so stupid.
These are people like in the first film? Is that what they're...
Well, Amanda was in the first 3 or 4. She kind of appears in flashbacks in the other films. She's like the first survivor of his traps or whatever in the films, whatever. Costas plays the guy that takes over his mantle in like the 4th film or whatever.
Okay.
And goes on. He's like the Jigsaw from that point, but he's like the corrupt detective or whatever he is. Yeah, he's the only one I saw kind of standing around hanging out at his table. Who else? Ron Perlman, huge line. All the time. Oh, yeah.
For what?
All the time. I guess Sons of Anarchy. It's they had him and they had that Tommy Flanagan guy that's in it too. I don't know. His lines were always pretty packed.
Really? That blows my mind. I don't like that guy in anything.
No. The It kids, they had a fairly good turnout.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
And probably my favorite thing that I did all weekend was on Sunday we went to the It panel. It was awesome. It was so much fun. Because they had all the kids there. And Georgie was like a last-minute guest because the kid that plays... The
kid from Stranger Things is the one that canceled, right?
No, he was never a part of it because they're filming Stranger Things.
Oh, okay.
So he wasn't ever going to be there. But I met him, so that was cool.
We figure those kid actors are done since the next one's the adult stuff. So.
The kid that plays the... What's the kid's name? I think it's Steve. The one that has the inhaler and lives with his mom or whatever.
I don't.
Well, they all live with their mom, but the one that has like the mom that almost fucking moves away.
Right, yeah. I know which one you're talking about.
He canceled, but they brought Georgie, which was amazing. He was like the highlight of the panel because he's really little. He's like 6, so imagine a 6-year-old talking in front of like hundreds of people.
That's funny.
He's just like, my time was, the time. It was just hilarious. He's super cute kid, and it was a lot of fun to see them all interact with each other. And we had just watched that film before we went, and I loved it. I thought it was really cool. The It remake was very different than the other film, and of course I prefer the old one, the TV movie. But when you don't compare them and you take it for what it is, the new It was really good. I liked it.
Right on.
And if you guys have a 4K TV, the 4K picture of that movie is outstanding, and that's partially the reason I liked it because it looked so good too. Like visually, it was amazing.
Sure.
Only thing I didn't like about the It movie is when he's in the little furnace thing, he starts like dancing. I thought that was really stupid. But other than that, that's the only part I didn't like about it. Everything else was really good. It was solid film. Here's the recreation of Camp Crystal Lake right here, where they do like they go back into that. Here's some Mr. Skinless. All the way to hour 22 minutes. This is not a Friday the 13th film. If it took this long. But this is an ode to Kane Hodder's favorite kill scene. And I guess, I don't know if he threw that in there for Todd to do for him, but he got to recreate the sleeping bag kill, which is a lot of fun. Even though it's technically doesn't even happen, because Jason thinks he's back on Earth, but he's...
And, ladies and gentlemen, if you want, you can meet the director of this film tonight. He is a late-night cashier at Walgreens.
I'm sure...
Just come on in and I'll ask old John Farmer.
I'm sure Kane Hodder wrote that part, because he loves that scene where he gets to do the sleeping bag. As much as he didn't like to actually film it, I think that's his favorite kill, but I know it was a very tiring effort that they didn't even keep in Part 7. Because in Part 7... the sleeping bag kill, they do it one good time, and then the chick's dead in the sleeping bag. But when he shot it, he had that sleeping bag full of blood packs that was very heavy, and he slung that sleeping bag into the tree about like 5 or 6 times. So by the last one, he was really fucking tired and he was pissed off. So that's the one they kept for the ratings board, is that final blow where you can see the blood packs like coming, like soaking through the bottom, which was pretty raunchy. But that movie would have been the best Jason movie, one of the best slashers of all time, had they not cut any of it. It's a damn shame they don't have a good enough print of any of that stuff. It'll never be an unrated cut of that film.
That movie sucks.
Yeah, Part 7 does suck because of how butchered it is, and you can tell there's like no gore in it. Whenever it would have been one of the goriest movies ever made, but they didn't keep any of it.
Yeah, but I mean, I think there's something more to that than what they're saying. I mean, no,
they have all those scenes in the killing room floor
on these Blu-rays,
but they can't piece it all together and make it into a unrated cut. I don't know if the prints that they do have of the cut stuff is bad or what the deal is.
I know that Bugler, whatever his name is, he doesn't own that stuff. Was one thing I was reading that he said, and that's
still
why
Paramount that owns it, probably.
Yeah, so they won't give it to him. Even then, they can't get like a third party to come in and make the director's cut because they won't release the stuff.
Shitty.
It's the same thing. There's a lot of titles you guys might want on Blu-ray through Scream Factory, and I'm saying specifically Scream Factory because I know for a fact they've had a lot of trouble getting Warner Brothers stuff, which these new John Carpenter releases are. I don't know about the TV movie, but I know that the other 2 releases are Warner Brothers films. In the Mouth of Madness is a New Line Cinemas film, which is owned by Warner Brothers, and then the Memoirs of an Invisible Man, straight up Warner Brothers. So I don't know how the fuck they got those, but more power to them. But I know in the past, I believe it was the Vincent Price Volume 2 collection. There were a couple of Warner Brothers titles in that, and they had to basically swim through a river of blood to get them, from what I'm told. So, it's interesting. Who knows? I'm not really sure, but it's, so much of this stuff, it gets caught up in copyright stuff and everything else, and it's just a fucking headache, I guess, after a while, and it loses its magic. But yeah, what's cool, man? It's I got to be honest with you. There's a side of me that wishes I could go attend convention stuff. I just don't. I don't have it in me. I really don't. I don't even like going to concerts anymore. I don't like being around people. I really don't. I don't, especially people that are into stuff that I'm into. I just don't enjoy that.
Yeah, I get it. And I don't. I like to go and then just get my shit and go back out to my room. And I like to meet people and try to make friends there. But it's really hard to when you have so many people.
Sure.
It's a lot more personable at Days of the Dead because they're not as busy. Maybe eventually they're not as old of a convention.
Well, there's more of those you can choose to go to too in different cities, correct?
Yeah, there's
he's got Atlanta and whatever.
There's Atlanta, Louisville, Chicago, Indy, and there's I think LA too. So yeah, there's always places to go. And same thing with Horror Hound. Horror Hound's primarily in Ohio. Like there's Cincinnati, and then there's Cleveland, I think, and then there's they do another one too. I'm drawing a blank. But Horror Hound has a really good one coming up in August. They just announced Bruce Campbell, but Robert Englund's going to be there too.
Now, what's that?
Horror Hound, and that's in I think it's in Cincinnati. No, it's in Indianapolis, actually.
It is. Interesting.
I thought about going back to Indy to do that because that's worth it. The people that they had lined up for that, because I think, not going to go to Mad Monster again. I've already made my mind about that. They'd have to bring some solid shit to do that. Horror Hound, I haven't got a response. Usually I always try to get, press passes to do these things. Because I'm not, I do this as leisure time, but I'm also doing it to try and get contacts, try to get stuff for this podcast. So, if I don't get help from, because I do promote the conventions, so it's not like I don't. But some people, I guess, just don't care. Yeah, Melinda Clark, that's a huge one I would love to meet. She's the Julie from Return of the Living Dead Part 3. which that's pretty awesome. Got the OG Cobra Kai.
Yeah, that's getting old. That stuff's just...
So what's up with that new... Have you seen any of it? They have that Kai show, whatever the fuck that is.
I have no idea. I don't care anything about any of that stuff.
Oh, people keep talking about it, so I don't know.
I don't like Karate Kid. I think Karate Kid's one of the lamest movie franchises.
It really is.
It's fucking garbage. It's fucking... I mean, that guy that plays Johnny's a fucking pud, and... Yeah, I've never met that.
I don't really like the success story movies like that, where it's just
it's not even. It's just lame. It's like little boy, little girl movies from the 80s. It's just fucking stupid. I watched that movie as a kid. Full disclosure, the first one, and then you know what happened? I started watching fucking Schwarzenegger, fucking Stallone movies, and I was like, this is fucking stupid, and I just quit watching it.
Yeah.
And then I started watching, and obviously I was already watching horror stuff, but, it caters to that stuff. And that's fine if people like that stuff. That's fine. A lot of people like, a lot of shows that I don't like, and that's perfectly fine. But this whole, I don't know who's embellishing this stuff, but I mean, the Karate Kid franchise, all 4 films, were the Hilary Swank one's the girl one. They're fucking terrible movies. They're just, I mean,
yeah, I don't
if you like feminine feel good movies or something, I don't know. I just don't. It's just not my thing. I never liked it, and it seemed like it was always like a selling point for a couple of cons that used to happen in Tennessee. It's like we've got blah. It's like I really don't care.
We got Ralph Macchio. It's like
I just don't care about any of that stuff. I mean, give
me Emilio Estevez.
I
want Ralph Macchio.
I mean, I guess I'm just getting jaded in my old age, but I don't care. I really don't give a fuck what people are doing or who they met or any of that shit. I just don't give a damn. And they relaunch a lot of programs, and it's just like, what? Because see, I don't know about a Cobra Kai TV show. I just knew that I had heard they were rebooting the film franchise. There was supposed to be a new picture.
There's this thing called, I think it's just called Kai, and it's like the Cobra Kai dudes in there are like different. I don't know. It's fucking weird.
It's a TV show?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Or it's like a Netflix. It's not Netflix, but it's something like a streaming thing.
Not familiar with it.
It's like Amazon Video streaming. Like it's something weird.
I'm not familiar with it. I don't watch. And that's another thing. People watch all this stuff, and I've got Steve out in California. He steals like everything that comes out and watches it and whatever, and that's fine. Whatever you want to watch, all these programs and stuff. And I guess he was really upset recently. A bunch of shows got canceled, but it's just like, I don't know. I don't even pay attention to like new television. I don't give a fuck about it. If it floats across my eyes, I'll give it a shot maybe, but I'm more of a movie guy. I don't really care about it. The only TV that I'm interested in is like old TV stuff, but whatever. But it's cool, man. Whatever people are into, it's not for me, but yeah.
Right. Oh, the film, which seemed like it was like 50 minutes, has now come to an end.
It's a short film.
I will say, just to wrap it up, and we'll get into the final thoughts here. Texas Frightmare was a lot of fun, but it wasn't my favorite. And if they have some really good guests again next year, I might consider going, but I might not. The talent that they bring there is worth going in general, but like I said, I'm more of like a little more chill for me experience, because I like to be able to do my thing and not have to be butt fucked and wait in line for a fucking Blu-ray. It's
sure.
Like I've never had to deal with that before. So it was just busy, and I know that's like a small thing, but still, made some friends that I'd like to see again.
Cool.
So that's a good thing. But traveling out there, that's gonna have to be, like if I went the year before, like you got all the Reanimator people, and then you got fucking Dario Argento, I would have been there last year. So if they do something like that next year,
sure,
yeah, something like that, I'll totally probably come back. So yeah, cool. Final thoughts. It's It's Jason X. It's fitting. We got the anniversary of the first Soulfly record. Max is a fantastic guest of ours. Jason X is a fun movie. It's not like a serious Jason film. If you look to Jason Goes to Hell and then you look at this movie, Jason Goes to Hell was very goofy, and they made it entirely a serious film. So this one, they weren't trying hard. They just wanted to make a fun movie. And, you know, sky's the limit with what they can do, like you said, on a 10th Jason film. I mean, you can do whatever the fuck you want, and that's exactly what they did. So, took it to the realm of sci-fi. Did a decent job with the sci-fi end of it, you know. The Grendel, I think, is a kind of a memorable ship in horror, if you really think about it. And, you know, it was more of my era of movies coming out. There wasn't a whole lot of good ones. This one isn't necessarily a good one, but I can look back and say that I grew up with it being there, and, you know, something I was actually alive to see in theaters. It was nice, but yeah, this film's definitely worth a watch once in a while to get away from all the other films that we beat into the ground and we watched so many fucking times. It's nice. It's a breath of fresh air to put this film in and just have a good time. And whether you're ripping it apart or you're actually enjoying it, I mean, however you do it, it's fun. It's fun to watch it.
Well, I picked it because I think it fits what was going on with this music in general, and it fits with what we were doing. It's just is what it is.
It's a timepiece.
It's a disclaimer also from me of what this is, and it's matched with what it is. So, and people can take that and interpret it any way they want, but I have a reason for the things I do. But yeah, it's you know, I don't have a problem watching it. Honestly, it's way better than Freddy vs. Jason. I think that movie's an abomination. Honestly, the Nightmare on Elm Street movies I think are bad after 4. I think anything after that is just dog shit.
I don't even know what's after 4. Is it that
Dream Child, which is awful.
Final Nightmare.
That Dream Child movie's horrible. That Dream
Child, that's 5.
It's terrible. And then that Freddy's, the thing with Alice Cooper as his dad is horrible.
So what's 4? 4's Dream Master, or is that Dream Child? I think Dream Master's 5. Whatever, they suck.
No, 4 I like.
Yeah, that's Dream something.
I like the first 4.
It must be Dream Master, and then Dream Child is 5. That makes more sense.
But the Dream Child thing's 5. I'm sure of that. But the 6
one's there's
bad.
Like the Freddy's Final Nightmare, and then there's that New Nightmare that everyone loves. I don't get that.
So fucking horrible.
You're like, that's my favorite Freddy film. That's fucking sad.
Yeah,
that's like saying Jason X is my favorite.
It's a bad movie, and but yeah, I mean, honestly, you know, and it's I guess this is whatever you're into, but I think a lot of, you know, I mean, our first guest, which I'm not going to mention their name, but, you know, he said the best Leatherface was the one from those, you know, the Jennifer Biel pictures. That guy sucks as Leatherface. He's a really shitty Leatherface, and I've never liked that guy. So, you know, whatever your interpretation is, I guess people have their own thing with it, but, you know, I'm always going to go back to the classic stuff.
Yeah.
In Friday the 13th's case, I don't consider the Jason pictures start until the second film, so...
Yeah.
And if you're really going to be a tight ass about it, you could say part 3.
That's the first hockey
match.
So,
you know, yeah, but yeah, if you guys want to meet Todd Farmer, he is at a local convenience store near you. He will pump your gas for you, and you can meet him.
And he'll sell you some skull long cut.
Yep, he'll talk to you about his Jason X picture that didn't make any money, but yeah, I don't have a problem with the movie. It's never on anything either, you know. So it was
no
fun
one's
to
favorite,
watch.
But it's nice to when it comes on.
It's funny.
Yeah, it's not a serious film,
but it's not as bad as like Alien 3.
No, because Alien 3 was supposed to be serious. This one is like, this is not a serious Jason film. It's just a Jason film. So
right.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. We have Max Cavalera of Soulfly coming up next. Caught him on tour with Nile, and it was a lot of fun. He's a very cool dude.
Very nice.
He actually beautifully makes... he paints the drum heads and he sells them on tour, so be sure to pick one of those up. It's very cool. I was kind of blown away when he showed us that. It was very neat that he...
It's like in the middle of that, I think, when we sat down.
Yeah, it was neat. And he sells them on tour, so to help him out, pick up some shit. And enjoy the interview, and thanks for listening, and stay fucking gory.
Dr. Vincent West with the Phantasm Podcast with Corey Gorkreis.
What's up?
We're here today with one of our heroes, We're here with Max Cavalera. How you doing, man?
Thank you. Good to be here, man.
Awesome. It's a pleasure to have you here. Then you're touring with Nile right now. How's that going?
Fantastic, man. It's a great package. I think really interesting to the combination of the two bands. We're so different, but it works really good because it just makes for a great night of metal. We both commemorate 20 years.
Yeah, the first Soulfly record.
First Soulfly came out in 98. Catacombs came out in 98.
Awesome.
So there's some history between us. And that's not counting Sepultura and
Sure.
Nail Bomb and
all
the other goodies. But their tour is going great, man. I love watching them every night. They're great guys. And we have local bands also. So yeah, man, I couldn't be happier, man. We're playing a lot of old stuff, which is I think a lot of fans really like. A lot of stuff from the first record.
Awesome.
Some Dark Ages, Prophecy.
See a lot of Prophecy stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, it's kind of cool. My son made an Instagram post at the beginning of the tour asking the fans what they wanted to hear, and there was a lot of stuff out of Prophecy, a lot of stuff out of Dark Ages, and the early stuff.
Right.
So we kind of make a set based on that. But
awesome.
It's going great.
That's awesome. It's like a straight up fan set list, basically.
Pretty much.
Everything.
It's like it's what the fans want to hear, and even though I love Archangel, I thought Archangel was a great record.
I loved it.
It's unfortunately we're not playing off Archangel. Not as of yet. We might. I like to add maybe Bethlehem's Blood later, or Titans or Sodomites. But
it's a killer. Yeah.
For right now, it's just a lot of more older stuff.
Right. That's good. That's awesome.
Fans are loving it, and we're having a great time.
Got some primitive stuff in there too.
Yeah. Back to the Primitive, Rise of the Fallen, and then we added Fire and Pohada together, which is really cool.
That's awesome, man.
And then man, so it's going great. We're very, very excited for tonight. It's going to be a great show. Hope we can do Mars too, because we did Mars the other night, and it was great. We did flamenco guitar.
Cool.
That's
crazy.
It's just a cool part of the show that's kind of like not trashing. It breaks down to like a part of the show that's really musical.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's really kind of cool to watch.
Well, with a band like Nile too, I mean, very music oriented. Like they're just crazy to listen to and watch, and so it's cool to have Soulfly on there also.
We're trying to do some other stuff.
That's
stuff.
awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then you wrapped up Nail Bomb tour like before this tour, correct?
Yeah.
And how was that, the reception of those?
It was good, man. It was underground as hell. It was like really small place, like a lot of Canadian shows.
Yeah.
17 of them, I think, were Canada. So we never been in Canada for that long, man. It was crazy. Like I joke, I say by the time we get out of here, we're all going to be talking with the Canadian accents, because we were there for so long.
Right.
That's awesome.
It was a great tour we had. Today's the day.
Yeah.
And the great guys, and like I said, it was more underground. This is a little bigger venues.
Right.
So we're just having fun. We got the new record coming out in July, so we're very excited for that.
It's awesome, man. Congrats on that too. I mean,
thank you.
Some Nail Bomb. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Right, Max. Last year we saw you with touring Cavalera Conspiracy with Immolation. That was really cool.
Yeah, Return to Roots with Immolation Full of Hell.
That was really cool. Yeah. You guys did it was pretty sick.
Like I say, I love the package that we're doing. Like this one is great. Soulfly had a couple really cool ones. With Battlecross, Suffocation.
Yeah.
And then, of course, that one, Return to Roots with Immolation Full of Hell. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. It just keeps it interesting and exciting for the fans. I think when you mix. And there's so many great bands out there, that we can keep doing this package for a long time.
Yeah, sure.
But I haven't even toured for Cavalera yet, so I hope we can do some of that too, because a lot of people like the record. Like Psychosis was a lot of people enjoy it, and we haven't had a chance to tour for that yet. So hopefully it's also coming in the future projects.
Hell yeah,
awesome!
Well, we're looking forward to that, definitely.
And go back in time here with you. Let's go back all the way back to the start. Talk about how Sepultura came about for you.
Really was kind of my second band. I had one band before that. Tropa de Choque, like kind of like combat troops, translated from Portuguese. And then before we kind of even know how to play, like Igor was a good drummer already. You know, he always was a good drummer, but I couldn't play guitar for shit. We had the name, you know. I named the band Sepultura out of Motorhead song, "Dancing on Your Grave." You know,
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
And yeah, little by little, we tried a couple of different lineups, and we settled with Gyro on guitar, which was a really good guitar player at that time. He could play like Merciful Fate and shit like that. And we working and started working. Got a deal with Cogumelo, and got to work on the first EP, Bachelor Devastation, that came out in '83, I think. You know.
Right.
And that's we just never stopped since then. You just, you know, like dropped school. Told my mom, I don't want to go to school anymore. I just want to play metal. That's all I want to do.
Metal, that's right.
But at that time, we couldn't. Still had to have jobs, you know. So
Sure.
asshole factory jobs that we hated, you know. We put all the anger into the metal, you know. So that's why the early stuff is really angry, you know. So
the first video I ever saw growing up was Inner Self, and I went out and bought it the next day because I'd always watch Headbangers Ball on Saturday night, and then we go to the mall and buy cassettes and vinyl and stuff the next day. And
Inner Self was the first video we actually did. You know,
okay.
Like the early records, we didn't have money to make videos, you know. So it's we only made maybe like demos, you know. We did a demo for From the Past Comes a Storm from Schizophrenia with the wrong English. It was called The Past Reborn, The Storms, which is like wrong English.
Right.
I didn't even know at the time. And then Schizophrenia came out. It was really the first record we kind of had a lot of input on the structure of the songs and stuff like that. And then we had a break, and then we got signed with Roadrunner. And the first was the idea was they were really kind of like sign a band from Brazil. They didn't know what to do with it, so like we got to get a producer, you know. And the first name that was Jeff Waters from Nile that was supposed to produce Beneath the Remains, but for some reason he couldn't do it. And then Scott Burns came into the picture, which was great because he was like right at the, you know, he wasn't like the death metal producer yet, but he was on the verge of it, you know.
Right.
So he had all the knowledge of double bass and, you know, just awesome. And so working with somebody
Understood what
the
was
other
going on
records, we didn't have anything like nobody like that to help us. And this time we had Scott, you know. So we did it in Brazil, and it was great.
Awesome.
And Beneath the Remains came out, and a lot of people really like it, you know.
That's sick.
I thought it was a pretty good record, especially on the vocals and lyrics. I think it was a big step forward. Inner Self specifically, it's a different kind of song. Nothing wrong with the earlier stuff. I mean, like Morbid Division is all great, but we were really ripping off European black metal bands at that time. Just Battery, you know, Hellhammer, you know. And then with stuff like Inner Self, it's more us like finding our own sound and our own way of expressing ourselves, you know.
I've always wanted
to open the doors for.
Ask you something right there about that period. We've talked about this a bunch on our podcast. I've been dying to ask you this my whole life. Do you consider, because I do as a fan, I always felt like you guys rode the line between like death metal and thrash, because it felt more, you know, it was really nasty, your vocals and, you know, the speed of it and everything. It felt like, I mean, do you feel like you did? I feel like you all were, I mean, riding that line with it. I mean, are they a death metal band? Are they a thrash band?
We like both, so I think we just combine both.
Yeah.
I mean,
you guys are a little too, almost fast with thrash.
Because I love
heavy.
I love all the death metal stuff that, you know, we're listening to, you know, Morbid Angel, Death, Obituary, Deicide, you know, Sadist, Possessed, Dark Angel, but we also like Nuclear Assault and
Absolutely.
Old Testament, and Slayer, and Creator, and I thought let's just combine what we love, play what we love. So that's why it came out like that, But I think like if you go back in time, really Morbid Visions is really
black metal,
more black metal influence. Like even what we were listening to a lot of Battery at that time.
When you jump to Schizophrenia, which
Venom,
I love, it's just
Venom.
like it's completely different. But it's still
It became more technical. You could do the riffs are a little bit more technical.
It's I love that record, man. I really do.
But I always loved the mix. And in fact, the last Cavalera record, Psychosis, is actually just that mix, death metal and thrash metal.
Sure.
Which you put two together, I think is really great. I love listening to death metal, but sometimes when you put a good thrash metal on, like Power Trip, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Or Municipal Waste or something, Toxic Holocaust, a good thrash record. It's like there's something there that's like really killer.
Yeah, definitely.
And then of course, if you listen to Suffocation or Blood Incantation, that's always great death metal.
Yeah,
sure.
We just decided to combine both, and on the new Soulfly, it actually goes one step further. It's I've been nicknaming kind of tribal death thrash because he's got tribal and he's got death metal and thrash metal. All
that
in
works.
one.
Yeah. I like
it's
that.
even more beyond the mix keeps going.
Right.
So yeah, I mean it's all good. It's all metal in the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like I'm a metalhead. I love metal. I love listening to metal.
Oh yeah.
Playing metal is what we do. It's our life.
Right.
Yeah.
Back to Beneath the Remains. Now, did you all do any touring in the U.S. on that tour? What for that record?
Yeah, we did one little one with Faith or Fear. So it was a small band. We were in a van with them, and very small venues, maybe like for 200 people.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was cool. It was the first time in the U.S. We met the guys from Suffocation on that tour.
Awesome.
That's
it was cool.
A shout out to Terrence. He's a good
Watch
guy.
it.
Terrence remembers that. He actually came. Somehow there's a story that somebody at Roadrunner found out that he had a van, and we needed somebody to pick us up from the airport, and he was the one that ended up doing
Terrence said that's right.
picking us up, and we ended up hanging out with them. It was great.
Nice.
Yeah, it was cool. I think I like the older tours that came later, especially SOS, Sepultura Obituary Sadist. That was an awesome tour. That was an awesome lineup. And then, of course, New Titles on the Block. Sepultura, Sacred Reich, Fudge Tunnel. I mean, Sick of It All, Napalm Death.
That's awesome.
And then we did Sepultura, Fudge Tunnel, Clutch, Fear Factory.
That's something funny.
Those are all great
In
packages.
Germany, you toured with Motorhead and Morbid Angel.
Yes.
How was
Metal
that?
Christmas.
That's amazing.
It was a Christmas shows. Andreas broke his arm, so he couldn't go. So we had the guy from Chorus just play guitar.
Huh.
It was great. I love all those packages, man. Those are that's what we're trying to do more. I think we're trying. Right now it's been down to only 2, but I want to maybe later bring more to be kind of more like New Titles on the Block and mix more. Maybe
Right.
Yeah, sure.
maybe with hardcore and death metal on the mix.
I think that's a good,
really cool
bridge for the newer kids too to learn all types of that stuff.
Different vibes, different variety, and everybody, gets a great night of metal in the end.
Arise, I remember I saw you several times. I saw you with Ozzy here.
Yeah.
You remember that over at the Coliseum?
Yeah.
On his No More Tours thing with Alice in Chains. I saw you guys there.
Yeah.
And then I saw you also with Ministry and Helmet at the Masquerade. In
Chaos. That was Chaos.
Yeah, that was correct. Yeah, Chaos AD. It was Chaos AD. Yeah, correct. And then I saw you with Pantera on that tour as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Arise tour was the longest tour we did. I think it was 16 months.
That's our favorite album.
Oh, yeah.
We went to Indonesia, Australia, Japan, Russia, first time in Russia. It was great. Indonesia was out of control. 30,000 people on each show, and riots and shit like that. It was burning buses outside the venue, man. Fucking
notorious tour for sure.
insanity, you know. Yeah, so I remember those Aussie shows. It was so hard to play those shows because nobody in the front liked us. In the back, the people were having fun, you know. But I remember like all like, you know, big biker dudes with just like Aussie shirt with a beer. Like,
they weren't
looking at me like I'm from Mars, you know.
They just
What's
weren't.
this guy doing? And I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
right. Like, we're having fun. We're doing it.
You know, nowadays
You all
they're
killed it
probably
over there. I'll never forget that. I mean, it was like, and I remember that not because Lane's leg was broke. He was on like crutches.
Yeah.
But you all slayed it, man. I mean, I remember we got there early and y'all were just fucking killing it.
We just do what we do, you know.
Yeah.
No matter what. You know,
I saw you all in here at this venue.
Oh, okay.
That would have arise as well. And I don't know if that was before the Aussie show or after.
Yeah.
But that's the only time you all ever played in there under the Sepultura moniker that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great, man. You know, like all those touring really built. It just made us better and better to make better records. You know, the more you tour, the better you get. You know, that's
absolutely.
And it's still true to today. You know, the more you tour, the better shape you get, sharper you get, more ideas you get. You know, more creative you get. Touring is fucking great, man. I love it. I love touring. I know. If I could just stay on tour, I would not even have a house. I would just leave. I would just leave on the buzz, man. You know?
Right. Yeah,
I love it here so much.
It's really cool too, you know, because I like traveling and stuff like that, and you know, I know a lot of people that don't. They hate it. They get homesick. They do all that stuff.
I get tour sick. I go home. I want to go on tour.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What am I doing here? There's nothing to do in this house. I want to go back on tour. Give me something to do.
And you don't hear that too often, so that's really
it's
cool.
more the opposite. He's like,
yeah. You usually
like
hear people want to go home.
Go home. You know,
right.
No,
yeah.
I want to stay on the road.
That's awesome, man.
And so we got a lot of touring this year, so I'm happy.
Yeah. We're looking forward to everything, man. The Soulfly, it's going to be fucking sick. And Cavalera will definitely
hopefully
come back out and see you guys do that. That'd be great, you know.
So, yeah, I mean, like, I love a lot of the package that we did. And then we had a lot of breaks, which is like the thing that I never forget is the bands that help us. Ministry, Pantera, Ozzy was great, man, you know. Like really friendly to me and my wife, and we went to his house for dinner and stuff. Which
that's awesome.
If you would have told the teenage Max he's gonna go to Ozzy's house for dinner, I would have shit my pants.
Right. Left school
I would have said, no way, you're full of shit, you know. But it happened, man. You know, so it's a lot of dreams do come true, man. It's crazy, man. You know, it's just like you gotta believe on it. And you know, it's what's cool about metal, like this life, is like we pick the hard. You know, there's like the easy way, which is like, you know, make a big record, pop songs or whatever. Sure. You know, and then there's the hard way, which is like the way we went. You know, which is like a lot of work. You know, not a lot of advertising, no TV, no radio, none of that shit. You gotta build the fan base on your own type shit, you know. Which today is different with the internet, you know. But still, I believe in really in touring, like live. Nothing compares to live experience,
right?
And you know, playing live is the best feeling. Is where is that?
Oh, definitely,
you know?
definitely.
That's what we do. What we do, you know.
Definitely.
To play the stuff live and get the reaction that we get, you know. So, all those records get, you know, it was a lot of good touring for a lot of that, you know. Like I say, the New Titans tour, then the Fudge Tunnel tour was great, and then Roots came out. We did a tour in Europe with Fudge Tunnel, you know, which was like end up later. At the time of Kids, they ended up doing Nail Bomb, you know. Paradise Lost. That was a big European tour.
That's awesome.
The Roots tour was like 5,000 to 10,000 people every night.
Awesome.
At that point, which was great. But I kind of like the smaller places better.
Sure.
I like places like this.
Yeah,
sure. To me, I think my kind of music is best for this kind of. You know, the festivals are great and all, and those shows were really cool. But sometimes it's just too big, kind of loses something. You know?
It's just more intimate to be in a club or something.
Yeah,
Like, we saw Megadeth here, and that was awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
Somebody
like
that,
you don't get to see that every day,
No,
so that's it's a special feeling, you know.
Definitely, yeah.
So I prefer this kind of
Yeah.
stuff like more than anything else. I mean,
Sure.
that's where you're closer to your fans. You can talk shit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
hear them talk shit, you know. And
It's
so
fun, yeah. You know, I'll tell you a funny story. Ozzy hasn't played here since you played with him with Typo Negative here in '96. He's never moved back.
Okay.
That was the last time. I just thought I'd tell you that was over at Thompson Bowling Arena here.
Yeah.
It was the last time.
Wow,
It's wild.
crazy. Yeah.
Well, you know, I don't think he doesn't like playing here because this was his last show with Randy was here. At the
Oh,
Coliseum.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he
wow.
didn't die, but this was the last show, and then he died in Florida.
Then
whatever.
the accident happened. Wow.
Yeah. Which
that's
is crazy. So he don't play here. A lot of people don't know that. But yeah, and this venue, when you guys played back here, back in it would have been '91. I think it would probably right when Arise came out. Because I'm thinking it was before you played here with Ozzy. I think the first time with Alice in Chains and stuff. But that venue, Death's played in here, and Venom, and this is back in '91, '92.
A lot of good shows here, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And Slayer played here the first time in '98, like they had never played.
Yeah,
here.
we were here with Crowbar. I think I remember.
Yeah.
last night.
I think it was
I think it was Crowbar, which was great. That's another great tour, you know.
Oh, yeah.
It's awesome.
So many good tours, man. You know.
The shitty thing about that, June 8th, this place is closing, like, for good.
Oh,
They've
really?
gone through so many different owners and stuff, and they've kept the venue up. And it's been here for so long, the actual building, but I think they're
It's changed hands a
wiping it.
bunch, but I guess they're turning it
So
into
the last
apartments
show,
or something.
the last show here is going to be Testament and Anthrax. So at least they closed with a pretty good one.
Yeah.
But not a lot of metal comes through here nowadays. But they've been getting some good stuff to finish it, I guess. So it's kind of sad, you know. It's been here for quite a while.
Do you guys have other places to play?
We always go
I
to
live in
Atlanta.
Florida, so I've got stuff I can go to there.
But when we meet up, we always go up to Atlanta.
yeah,
Okay.
So they'll go to the Masquerade.
Masquerade,
That's where
which
you
I'm
guys
sure,
played
yeah.
last night.
Yeah.
we go to that place. Man, that thing. What do you think of the new Masquerade? Do you like it?
Yeah, it's cool.
I think
You
it's
know?
pretty neat.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the same. You know, they say the old one. Funny story. Terrence and Derek were telling us from Suffocation that place was haunted. Like they were in there, telling us all this weird shit.
Just the old
I heard
Masquerade
that
was
too.
haunted too.
I heard that too. Yeah.
Because the old Masquerade
That's
has been
pretty
there
funny.
since like the 1800s.
Yeah. I think they're it's like a tourist kind of place now. You can go and visit and do a little tour of it.
Yeah.
But we had fun, man. We had a great show last night. Every night was a tour. I just love playing with Nile, and hopefully we get do some jamming with them. That's what we it's the only thing about this tour that sucks. We get sound check, man. Like every day, I think we get late.
Right.
Yeah.
And the shit takes forever to set up.
Yeah,
and
sure.
We don't get a sound check. They don't get a sound check. So it's hard to like work on songs when you
just
don't
kinda-
sound check.
Right.
You know, but eventually, at some point, we're gonna get it right, and we're gonna do some jamming.
Awesome.
What's up, everybody? Max Cavalera here, Soulfly. You listen to the Phantasm Podcast. Stay metal. Oi!